Then you're done.
Right.
I'll string up here, I'll string downstairs. That's okay.
Oh, okay. You guys got another one down there. It's the same machine?
Sure is.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like this is a tournament machine that,
So I'm looking down in here just to make sure that it doesn't say that I have to start the process on this side and this side. These are symmetrical, so you can go either way. Most rackets are. Sometimes tennis.
what are you looking for as far as the symmetry?
So I'm looking for it to say on one side or the other, start cross strings here. Like
Oh, okay.
start.
They say it.
Because if it does, that means something's different about the other side. If I did it on the wrong side, the strings would be outside the groove instead of inside the groove, and then they pop first.
Well, let's say it did say start it here. Would you start it close to you or up versus down? Like, is it just a preference thing?
I just like it on this side.
Okay.
So if it had been like this, I'd go, oh, okay, gotcha.
You flip it over. Gotcha.
Just
So then that's a preference more than
absolutely.
Yeah.
And once I do this, get it in here. And I go,
Now,
okay.
now I've heard different stories. Like some people put them in on the sides first and then draw this in. As far as centering it.
I get to center it in first, and then I make sure I'm equal. Right now, I don't think I am. I think I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, you're wrong.
I am off something.
No, I think it's
Hold
right.
on, yeah.
It looks right to me.
Let me go to the first cross string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's good. So now this is snug. It's always just snug. Then it'd be tight.
Right, yeah.
The same thing with the.
Yeah, they're just there to brace it more than anything.
Exactly. Good job.
Yeah, and it's all going to get drawn in by the tension anyway.
Sure is. 20 feet for the mains.
Just kind of a general thing, despite the head size.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially since they're real, but yeah, I know. Yeah, 20 feet will cover it, basically, unless you're.
The alarm's gonna go off. The alarm's gonna go off for a few minutes.
Well, nice.
It's all his fault.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I've seen some YouTube of people, and they'll do three
yes,
and then half to get 20 feet.
Yeah, you had to know what is an even, length for you to
Yeah.
get to 20 feet or.
And I think I'm sure it's less of a deal on a big reel as well versus a pack, right?
Pack is much more careful.
Yeah. Now this is for two-piece stringing, right?
Two-piece stringing, yes, correct. I see no benefit at all in stringing one piece. None whatsoever.
You just have to deal with someone that's picky at that point, right?
And I don't even know what they're picky about. Because
Right.
there's no advantage. So you're not going to get like less string tension out of a two-piece than a one-piece if you know what you're doing. So, yeah. So anyway. So, get on both sides.
And so this has 8, so that means it's starting at the top.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly right. I broke it again. What can I tell you?
machines I saw was it had an electronic crate on the table that the person who had it said they loved it.
Yep.
But that was like one of the complaints that people had about the only complaints on this machine was like the manual lever for the table lock. Because they said not even that it wasn't basically just because the string would get caught in it when they're pulling it through. More than anything else, it wasn't about the function of the brake at all. It was about it just getting hung up on it. Kind of a thing.
Interesting.
Oh.
I haven't seen that be a problem at all.
No, I mean I imagine obviously when it's under tension, it's not going to really move much anyway. So.
Woo-wee. That sure does its job.
So it seems like there's probably a million ways to skin the cat, but like, you know, some of the things I saw, like, so you put the starting clamp outside the frame, out here, this one, right?
That was
This one.
That was just to stabilize the other clamp that didn't have the stress on it yet.
Gotcha.
And then I had the internal clamp was actually holding the string.
Yeah.
And the other clamp was on the string past it.
That was on the other side.
Just take a little pressure off it, yeah.
Okay.
It didn't really have any pressure on it. But it helps keep this one from moving around a little bit while you're on it. And you make sure you have a little sharp edge here so you can...
Yeah, angle cut, yeah.
Like a needle thing.
Yep.
And don't let it get you.
Oh, so these are gravity release.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. It looks like this one's been replaced.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Most of these things have lots of parts that are replaced.
yeah, I would imagine.
They wear out.
With the amount of use that these get, I would imagine. Now see, to me, like, that little amount of time that the head pulls, that's why I can see the like, how it's not that big a deal to have a lockout machine. Because that's, you know, I get it and everything, but like, if you're moving quick, like, you've got the tension on for less than 10 seconds.
Oh, gosh.
Is it really going to change that much on a
No.
lockout, you know? Like, it's if it changes at all.
Right.
I mean, I think correct me if I'm wrong, like, the only time that would be problematic is if you have string jobs that want to pre-stretch, right?
Or it's a really soft string that's very stretchy, and if you pull it, and as you're changing the clamp, and you do this a little bit, and it pulls a little bit more, see this doesn't pull it all.
Yeah.
Then if you can't do that on lockout. So,
Yeah.
I do know people with lockout that actually will unlock it, try to pull a little bit and then lock it again, like, interesting.
Well, I mean, I haven't done it, but I know that they're still popular machines, especially for people who travel.
Gosh, obviously it's portable. And like I said, you get really fast with those machines too. They're super fast. Even though we have guys that string around in 12 minutes on this machine, so yeah.
Yeah, that's wild to be able to do it that quick to me.
To me, it's more impressive is that not saying string rack 12 minutes, but they can string 4 rackets an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every 15 minutes.
And that means taking out the string, the whole thing, cleaning up, resetting, yeah, bam.
Well, there's that too, yeah. Like, just cutting them out, getting everything out.
Yep. You can do 4 rackets an hour, you're smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be getting paid to do it at that point.
Hello, Ray.
How are you, brother?
I am wonderful about yourself.
Good. See you then.
Have a great day.
Take care.
So notice you skipped one there.
Yes, because I noticed this grommet going that way.
It's pointing that way.
It's the bottom.
Right, but if it was an unstrung new frame, then, and if it's not labeled.
Right, I would have to know by how close it was in proximity to these two, like that.
Gotcha.
And so, like, I know that, but again, you know, so I say I could
But the
check.
crosses do spread a lot at the top and bottom a lot of times on the frames, right? Like they're dense in the center and then they spread out as they
Usually
go.
do. You're right. Yep, to help with get some trampoline effect over there. Just draw back one knob.
Yeah.
Middle of the frame. Middle of the frame. Sorry. I was a little generous with the string measure. Ooh.
And it needs a grip job too.
Yes, it does. I'm not doing that. These grips are going to be absolutely nasty. Do this one. Hold it still for me while I talk. Wow, it's really kind of crazy with that.
That's your excess. Gotcha.
I just do a little double loop. Come here.
And you see that where that was tied before, obviously, because of what it looks like.
Try to get as much like
Manual.
I can.
And you just literally go, I know there's a bunch of different knots, potentially, right? But
Yeah, I like simpler is better. And I'm going to do, just have to take the
this way and then that way,
like
right?
it,
Mhm.
just like that, and then
That's what I've seen. And I've seen some where like they don't pull that tight and then they pull it through the same knot or something like that
I
too.
have seen that too, yeah.
I don't know if that plus or minus, whatever, that seems simple. It's just two overhand knots. Now, that was one thing I didn't really understand. It's like there's a knot tying function, right? So,
Yes, so you guys use the strings of tension, not and some are, I know two of them got to do that. They just touch it again. What it also does, it adds more tension to the knot to make
yeah,
it
it's like
make
a
up-
5 or 10% extra,
to make
right?
up everything you lost in the last while you're tying, like you're getting out there or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not going there. But some guys do. There's nightmares about not being able to do it quick enough and having the thing just snap.
Yep.
But it is a feature. You're right. A lot of things. Okay. Now we'll go on with. Here we go. Got the natural gut.
Wilson natural gut, okay.
Natural gut. Here we
What
go.
is natural gut now? $40 a? I bet it is.
I know it's expensive. Very expensive. Okay, so very careful.
Oh yeah.
Make sure it's calm without any kinks.
Oh, that's actually from a 2-pack.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
half and half.
Half and half. Gotcha.
I inadvertently gave them a half a string so they can keep that one for the next round, next bracket. They do.
What else is in there? Oh, it's a Luxolon. That's interesting. Is Luxolon a Wilson? Is it a Wilson product?
They distribute. They have a distributing license for Luxon. Luxon's a standalone.
Yeah, I knew they were. I just didn't know if it was like under the, a brand under Wilson's umbrella kind of thing. So they're saying
54 pounds. Got it.
for both.
Yes, they sure are. See what they're doing. They're doing this. Here we go. So sharper. Now what I do on cross, I actually, instead of weaving the entire length of the string, I weave the first two strings.
So
back
they
to the
want
knot.
but did they want that in there?
That's the same kind of string, but yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, sure is.
And does it matter, or is it preference you start over or under? It's just whatever.
Whichever, yeah.
As long as you keep the
On
alteration
first
right.
Now this one I have to, because I've already got that one going. I'm looking here, see how much room I have on the top and bottom of this hole. Looks like I got more under the string than over it, so I'm gonna go under it with this one. And I go over that, so this is this one. I'll make sure it's opposite. So yeah, it's under, it's over. Let's do that all the way across. One more. Thank you. Something here. Need to go over that one. Fix that wheel. And enough here to increase the tension up. Up here. Keep the tension on. Mhm. Okay. Now, here we go. Now, what I do, on the cross section, instead of weaving the entire length of the string, I weave the first two strings back to the knot. this and this. I think I'll wait till I get there. Everything's just the way I want it. So it didn't squeeze it up too long.
Right.
Well, hello.
There. Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful. Okay. Hello there.
Oh, I know you had a good time.
Okay, I'm ready. All set up. Pull these two and then take the stretch out of it. Stretch out. Be careful with this. Keep an eye on that one so I don't have it kink up.
Right.
I'm gonna do 16.
So is this, yeah.
See you later.
All right, enjoy the day.
Give lessons on the stringer.
Absolutely. That would be the next one. I'm going to weave this across
Right.
for less friction. Got the string. Go to my other olive.
Like before, you're doing two at a time. So how long do you leave this?
I'm gonna tie it up.
Gotcha.
Most string it doesn't matter if you leave it all the time, wait till the end, but I like
Yeah, this
Well, the
is
salt
this is
string,
good. So
yeah, I
it's
like
soft there.
take care of this.
Sheep's good.
Mm-hmm. So what are you gonna do right now?
Not actually cat.
Cattle. Actually, it's for cattle.
Oh, I've heard it's sheep, but I don't know what like
Sheep,
Wilson
yeah,
does.
There's sheep got also in this.
Mhm.
But I think cat is actually short for cattle.
Oh, interesting.
I know they use cattle intestines a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's just- Okay. Lock that. Find my string. There it is right here. Do this up. Do the same thing. I'll put the first loop going. Get in there nice, just nice. No big deal. And then take it.
Forward and back. Yeah. And then it's just repeat
Sure is.
once you get the knot till you get to the other end.
And then the last knot's gonna be the same as this one, just a double loop.
Yeah.
And the only issue is when you get to the strings that are going under over, which room does it have one over under the strings that have covered up, the holes covered by the string?
Oh, yeah, because they're already threaded.
Every now and then you'll find this, you have to find a racket pattern that has
Double.
shared holes.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you, they'll show you
Right.
on the type, yeah. Absolutely. Sticking to it.
Yeah. So who all does this here? Does every pro do it?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
As our schedule permits.
Gotcha, yeah.
It's, let's see, Alex, myself, Alex, Aaron, Curtis, and Ethan, offspring. Alan can, but he's burned out from it and doesn't want to do it anymore, so he doesn't.
Sure.
We don't make it. The rest of us can take care of it just fine.
What's the turnaround that the tennis center does? Does it just kind of depend on the season?
It actually depends on, like, if there's no emergency, a couple of days.
Couple of
If there's
days.
an emergency, we might be able to get it back in less than 2 days. You know, maybe the next day if you're a regular customer here, and we know
Sure.
you want to do a favor, get you what you want. We're trying to make sure it's a couple of days. Sometimes I'll call somebody and say, hey, don't you got right here? You got 3 rackets, you need all 3 of them at the same time? No, give me one, let you know, tomorrow and next 2 and spend it in a couple of days. But yeah. Trying to do it just to make sure it's easier to read. Wait till we're at the Liberty playing with these days.
She's actually still playing with her, it's a couple years old, I don't know if they even make it anymore. It's a Babolat Boost Drive, or Boost D is what it's called. It's like a, I think it's really more like a starting full-size racket.
Okay.
But it's funny, yesterday we went and played for a little bit, and I let her play with my strike.
Okay.
And she's like, I kind of like this.
Pure strike. Yeah, that's a sweet racket.
Yeah, so
Somebody's had a pretty fast swing if she played with pure strike. Good for her.
no, not especially. I think, but you know, invariably we swapped. You know, because I was hitting with hers, and like, you know, the grip size difference withstanding that racket of hers is so unstable. It's like it's not super head heavy, but it's like only 1 point or whatever.
Right.
But she's like, I can feel the difference.
Is it pretty light?
It's very light.
Okay,
but it feels.
That makes less stable too.
Yeah.
Less weight, yeah.
Yeah. So like, so I don't know. I may see if there's after this season, you know, see if she wants to do an upgrade or something, because. But I guess they've changed it too. That's the thing. It's like I bought that racket like 4 years ago, and now there's a new version of it that's been modified. So how has it changed compared to what I had now? So because my strike's like an 18 version, and now there's a 24, or it's a 21. I can't remember which one it is, but it's not the same. But she really liked it yesterday. She's like, I kind of like this. I was like, yeah. Now she's improved. We need to. Her biggest, I mean, other than just consistency, her biggest hurdle right now is you got to figure out some way to get that serve toss more consistent, because it's just everywhere, all over the place. Yeah. So. Yeah, pull through. There we go.
Straight arm melts. Straight arm melts. Also,
Yeah, I mean, I've got video of it. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, it's like it's way out. The biggest one that she does is it goes way out there, like just way away from her, so where she's like trying to step for it. I think her stance is a little bit too. She looks a little too like block-legged. She's got a really wide kind of thing like this, and I was just like,
shoulder width apart, maybe. Maybe
yeah,
shoulder width apart.
yeah. So
That's the only time in gyms we do want to be pretty close together. We want to be tall.
Yeah.
We want to be tall.
so
Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a toe dragger, so I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's I'm still basically using one leg, but you know, the eternal fight of which I remember very well when my dad taught me how to play. Of it feels weird, so I don't want to do it, and I still remember that the first time I hit. And actually made good contact and good, you know, a good result of a one-handed backhand the way Dad says to do it. And I was like, shit, I guess the old man knows what he's talking about. But Dad was a hell of a player in his day. So, the high school teacher, in the summer, he would go and work tournaments as a warm-up player. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, he showed me his photos with Guillermo Vilas and I'm trying to think who else. He got a lot of work because he's a lefty, and at the time you had Macro and Connors, so everybody wanted to warm up with a lefty.
Right.
So, and my dad, I mean, this was the late 70s and early 80s. I don't even know if he was playing with a metal racket then, or if he was still playing with a wood.
They were still.
They were transitioning.
Transitioning. Sure.
Yeah, so like graphite hadn't become a thing yet.
Bees Carolinas.
Yeah.
Obviously McEnroe and all those guys, and then Jose Luis Claire. All these guys at the top of the game.
So, you know, but he could put a ton of spin on it. Because he was teaching me, I had an advantage because I knew how to hit it. I knew how to attempt to turn the left-handed kick serve. So, you know, when we in high school, we would play a team, and I played doubles mostly, and when we would play a team that had a left-handed, I was just like, okay, let's see what he can do. So I knew how to do it. No, I'm very, very happy. He actually developed MS, so he's completely immobilized now, which is very sad.
That is sad.
But I'm very happy that my daughter is also playing. So because she's been playing lately, I have 3 girls, and Liberty's the oldest. So now the middle kid is like, I'm gonna play tennis team. And I was like, okay, cool, we'll see. We tried to get her out here one time, and she came up for like one of the group classes as like a 6-year-old or something, or a 7-year-old.
Right.
It must have been 6. Yeah, it was probably 2 years ago. And she was so intimidated and emotionally overwhelmed, she just stood there and cried. And we had to leave and cancel the whole
Poor
thing.
thing.
So like, I was like, well, I'm not going to do that again if that's how you're going to react, but we can talk about trying it again.
Neither one of my kids ever played tennis. I messed around with them, got up there some balls, and had a good time, you know. They did other things. Dad, no.
Yeah.
You know you go shit, but I'd rather do something else. I'm like, okay. Because now my son's from UGA, now he's crazy about tennis.
Oh, really?
He's saying himself about the pro tour. Every time he comes on, he wants to hit with me. I'm like, well, that's cool.
Has he been watching Indian Wells this
Oh
week?
yeah, oh yeah. He can tell you all about Indian Wells, I'm sure.
See, I grew up near Cincinnati, so we always had the Masters there. Big ATP 1000 tournament there, so we always knew what was going on. And that was the last hardcore tourney before the Open every year, so it always had the big games at it.
Right?
Unless somebody was like injured and trying to wait for the slam, almost everybody would come out.
Right.
So they had some incredible events there over time. Is there any concern with like just working with the guy, just being a little bit more slow and gentle and like not pulling it through fast to burn it and stuff like that,
Yeah.
compared to the other strings?
Yes. You know, I'm always doing this.
Yeah, I've seen all the videos I've seen online of anybody stringing anything, like even a bad looking guy can do So even those, and those are really low tension.
Right.
So,
Or even polyester, which is incredible. You know, very nice. When the zinc that goes across it very nicely. It just takes away some of the wear and tear.
yeah.
But it will. It'll burn. It'll not these strings, but also burn the cross.
Yeah, it rubs them, yeah.
Especially
I mean, I'm sure it's not in a line because it's spun and it's spiraled and all that. That's why it's curled on the reel and all that sort of stuff, but, you know.
It's easier on your feet.
No, Dad was, you know, he strung all his own on the Clipper mate back in the day. You know, I mean, this was, 1978, 79. I was a baby, so. But yeah, he was very into it. Only, I don't remember it because I was too young, but like, only time I apparently, like, in my lifetime where he was thin. So, because he was just like crazy in shape. You know, he'd run 5-minute miles. You know? I was like, I can't even imagine running with my knees. So. So yeah, it gets a little tougher around the clamps. Do you find you ever have to loosen any of them to get things by? Or is it more just like, or is it more just like pulling it one way or another? Because these could kind of stay there and then the whole racket could shift this way or that way, right?
None of it's the way it's supposed to be. If it's in there, it's going to pretty much stay where it is.
No, I'm saying you could. Couldn't you?
Okay, yes, yeah.
If it was like blocking something, then you could pull it this way and that way with
I
the
didn't
clamps.
think about that, but you're right. Yes, if it's going to like make the string like really hard to get to or something.
Yeah, and like this one's hard to get it above. Yeah.
So I turn the string a little bit so that the edge will go up a little bit.
Now, do you find you ever have to like ream the holes with awl and everything like very often?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Or just make room with the awl.
Right, for like some of these ones where it's a dual shared hole or whatever.
Exactly. Sometimes. And that's whether it's a soft string or stiff string. Polyester almost go through any hole that's got a string over it, whereas natural gut or like a multi-filament, man-made multi-filament, if you don't have enough room, it's just like it just collapses and it goes through and you just open over it.
Getting tougher and tougher just because you have less vertical movement on the mains.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Wrong
one. At least it's only one thing.
Like that. Pull it.
Yeah. I clamped it. But it is right next to the other one. It kind of hides there. Under it too. So were you saying with the multi-filament or a bunch up?
It smooshes, it just like collapses.
Oh, because of the structure of the string?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people, like a lot of the YouTube university I've been doing, they talk about how the multis will fray.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously I'm just not playing enough because mine are fine. But I also have the string savers in.
Oh gosh, yeah, that stops everything. That's keeping it in front. It stops the string movement. That's exactly right.
No, I'm like a child of the 90s, so, that was what you did, You either...
string savers and shugu.
No, I didn't do shugu. And I was a toe dragger. And I tried it, but I didn't like feeling the flap. I'd rather just wear through the shoe. And I could get through a high school season without wearing it through. I mean, I wasn't like, I didn't drag the top of the shoe. It was all the sole.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah.
This is where it's got to get a little funky at the bottom here. Now, are there any that you start from the bottom? The crosses?
Yes, on some where you do the one piece, the nasal finish at the bottom is just
Gotcha.
Truck model or what.
And is that just like a necessity thing based on the racket design to do it in a one-piece string?
Yes, yes.
Gotcha.
Some of the cheaper ones that were for like sporting goods stores, rackets.
Which is all you can get around here now.
Okay.
That's also why I'm looking into this, because it's like everything that I've been researching, they're saying that stringing is like the revenue bread and butter for any pro shop. And, you know, like balls you make no money on, you know. Like that clamp's a little sticky. Yeah, I got my hand on this, I can feel it adjusting the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool.
Now there was, I mean, when I get into it, if I get into it, I don't know what I'll start with. Probably a lockout, just because I don't want to have power and the weight, you know.
And it's, like you said, it's portable too.
Well, that's the, well, here's my idea. So I'm not going to make you sign an NDA, but like my idea is if there's a market for it, if there's a market for a pro shop again, and then thinking about not just for Peachtree City, but the whole southern side of Atlanta, because as far as I know, there isn't one. Okay, now you're at the end.
So I know that this is an oversized hole somewhere. It's kind of.
Is that a mark to delineate that, or is that just a mark on the frame?
I think somebody did that.
Somebody did
told the tiny knot.
Or what's this?
Same. I think that has something to do with what's writing. I guess some kind of endorsement of what they.
Yeah, it's just marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So just enough to tie that off. Yeah, way less of that left over.
Mm-hmm.
And bent nose pliers. Yeah. And you had to go through. You did have to go around one of the ones you'd already kind of gone through.
Yes.
Because of the loop over. And then do you guys actually do like a check afterwards or anything, like measure it, or is it's done? Yeah. Too many to worry about to do that?
Machines share themselves.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a knot or something.
Right. Well, I didn't know, like, you know, if there's like a calibration schedule for the machine or all that stuff.
Actually, that's a good point. But I know that when we tested it on like, I had another machine here a while back. We strung two rackets that were identical, you know,
Yeah.
hybrid. Holy cow, we put them together, the pitch is perfect. Like, wow.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly one way you could.
But yeah,
You would instantly tell if the sound is different. If it's a discernible difference.
Yeah, you're right.
You still got that one clamp in, I don't know if you know. But. And what are you doing here?
I'm just
Just lining it up.
Yeah, just
Gotcha.
prettier. So somebody give us a shot and go, oh man, these shorter strings, they need these. We change colors.
See, I don't know if anybody did this hybrid stuff when I was playing high school in the 90s. You know?
Nope.
I mean, I think that's when poly started.
Was it? Maybe.
Like in the late, probably after I was done in high school. I was done in
I
'96.
remember the first weird string was called Blue Star. It wasn't a poly, it was a different material for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was just synthetic gut or gut back then.
Yeah, thin gut or natural gut. Yep, you're right. All right.
There
I
it
know what
is.
you're doing.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it's more of a thing of just like, what is, let me ask you this. Before I invest in a machine, at the end of per season, could I come in under your supervision and restring it on this? Is that a liability thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
My boss, you talk to Curtis about that. if you want
Okay,
to.
I'll send him an email. But-
Since we're a city.
Yeah, because I mean, I can watch you and I can take notes and I can review the video and all that stuff, but until I actually do it, then it's, you know, it becomes a thing, and that's even a cheap machine, quote unquote, is a pretty big investment. So, you know, nowadays, I mean, there's no way. I mean, these are like well, I don't even know, 6,000, I think.
I think you're very close.
Yeah, they're like, it's like buying a golf cart, you know? So, that definitely is not in the cards for me. But, you know, I might be able to argue my way into a $1,000 lockout machine, but.
You get, I think, very good.
Well, I mean, this is like new too. This isn't even like looking at the used market. So that's probably what I should do. But, you know, there's also the funny thing is too, is like, there was one of the machines that I saw, that one that had the electronic brake I was talking about. That was Alpha. But it's not really an Alpha machine. It's just a machine made by a company that makes stringing machines, and Alpha pays to put their name.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
So, like, you get on Alibaba and you can buy that machine without Alpha's name.
There you go.
At a third of the price.
That makes sense.
So, but that's still another big electronic machine. Now this one, I know that one of the deals with this was like, this is, it tilts as well as height adjusts.
It can, sure.
Have you ever had any need for it?
Tried it when we first got it. I'm like, I like it this way it is. But I like the height of it, being able to do.
Yeah.
So
Setting
I
it to your
like
height. Because if you have different people using it, like, you know, I'm taller than you and other people or whatever.
And I go up, they
Yeah, because your one pro is very tall. What's his name?
Ethan.
Ethan.
He was swinging something and said, Coach Rob, can you check this out? I'm like, yeah. Come on, I'm looking at it like the tables. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, Ethan. I can see it, but I was trying to get everybody. I can tell you what to do though. But you're way up there. All right.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I may bug you for a second time.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at it, but
I
don't know.
You have questions about something, just call.
Yeah.
You have my email, but you don't have my number, do you?
No, just I'll email you back.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that'd be great.
That way you don't have to worry about it right now. I don't think it, but,
Wonderful.
you know, I'll email you my number and everything. And I'm sure I'll see you because with Liberty being here, I'm coming back here in a little bit.
Excellent.
So
All right.
She's on the. Well, I guess this is the first year they've ever had a JV squad.
Okay.
At Macintosh.
Okay. Well, they've got a big enough school with enough people that play tennis. They should have.
Well,
I mean, you know.
70 kids tried out for tennis. 70
That's,
boys
that's
and girls.
That's huge. Yeah, that's huge.
But that's a ton of
That's
kids.
amazing. Yeah.
Like she was, I mean, 20 didn't make it.
Right.
You know, or
Yeah.
almost 30 didn't make it. And they took some 8th graders actually, which I guess they can do. I don't know if there's limits on how many or any of that stuff.
Good
But
point. And also, like, doesn't that affect their eligibility? Only 4 years of eligibility.
I have no idea, but it's JV.
Oh, okay.
So they're not allowed to play varsity.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But I know that they've got, so Liberty's a freshman, and they've got one freshman there who has been playing varsity singles for them. Now, I think it's very much a, they're actually the talent level of team. Kind
Okay,
of
yep,
thing,
yeah, that's
to
right.
not blow them out.
You're
kind
right.
of a thing.
It happens a lot. You're exactly, when they know. I don't know how they know, but they know. Yeah.
Yeah, so like when they played Noonan here a couple weeks ago, freshman was playing #1 singles, and she won. And she didn't have to go 3 sets, but you know, it wasn't a blowout. So I think it was like 6-4, 6-4. Seems like a lot of high school kids break a lot. Like they end up getting broken.
Yeah, absolutely. So not a strength number.
Yeah.
Even sometimes the boys that hit the big serve, they don't get any ground. In the big second serve, you know, then everybody breaks out.
I don't fall a lot, but I refuse to get, because I refuse to get
Gotcha.
in to let me kill me
Twice.
You know? Like, and there's like, it's actually probably statistically bad, but it was an ego thing, I think.
As long as you commit to it, you're committed to it.
Well, but I mean, I'm sure that now in this day and age, you got all these metrics that you can measure across things. You know, they can say, well, your probability is so much greater for this because then, you know, yeah, it's an easy put away for them, but they can still miss. So what's the chance of them trying to go too big and just dunk it into the net versus you double fault?
Like my money is, whatever works for you best.
Well, I mean, because of that left-handed kick serve, I was like, Dad, teach me that. And like he did, and it got can't tell you how happy I would be whenever we would play a school that we hadn't played a squad before. I haven't played these guys before. I missed my first serve, and they take 2 big steps in, and then they're trying to hit it up here.
Or having to duck out of the way.
Yeah, or I hit it right at them.
And they thought it was going to bounce that way, and then it bounced this way, and they're like, oh, you missed that ball.
Yeah. So,
Thank you
all right,
very
well,
much.
thanks, Rob. I appreciate it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sure I'll see you around. Oh yeah. If I can, yeah.